finding unity through the things we have in common. Community. We gather around a cause, genetics or biology or geography, race, religion, nationality, sexuality. Where do you live? Where do you work? Where do you play? Common interests, music, sports, marching bands, Comic-Con, leather. Maybe you're a part of several communities. Maybe some of those overlap, and maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we've been struggling within our communities. Now, I play and perform for a lot of communities across the North American continent. Christian, pagan, atheist, Democrat, Republican, neither, black, white, straight, gay. You know what we all have in common? We're all struggling with each other. Now, we could get into the specifics and opinions as the reason why that is, but I don't have that kind of time, and neither do you. So the idea that I'd like to present to you this evening is the idea of transcendence. Now, transcendence is not turning our back on everything that was. It's not giving up on every idea, rite, ritual, process. It is not destroying the foundation on which our communities were structured. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel as long as the wheel is still functional. It's simply letting go of what is obviously not working anymore and supporting the best of what is working. It's an idea of expansion. It's getting clear on what it is that actually needs changing, and then redefining how that change can transpire. Because somewhere we got confused. We got jaded, defeated. We get angry and scared. We start trying to force square pegs into round holes. And quite honestly, it's exhausting. There's plenty of people out there telling it like it is. I'm here to tell you how it can be. We can engage our humanity. We can employ our power, not the boisterous alpha display of hierarchy. I'm talking about real power, the kind that's inconspicuous, the kind that's enigmatic, the kind that can embrace a soul without it even knowing and love it into greatness, the kind of power that we can bring to the table and disarm all categories of fear. We can create a tipping point that slides us directly into the path of our own greatness. We can become a society that changes the way we see ourselves and our future and operate from that point of view. What is it we are actually gathered around as a community? This planet is made up of continents, made up of nations, made up of states and provinces, made up of municipalities, municipalities made up of communities, communities made up of us's. And we can consciously, collectively shift the climate. We can change. Listen, there was a time that you could not walk, and then there was a time that you could. The ground didn't change, you changed. There was a time that you could not speak, and then there was a time that you could. The language didn't change, you changed. You transcended the limitations of silence. You transcended the limitations of crawling. At one point, it carried you, and then eventually you realized it was binding you to the ground, so you transcended into walking, and then running. And when we finally discover the common thread of what it is we all desire, we will fly. Listen. It's time to transcend the limitations that we are so conditioned to believe, and it is time to take responsibility for the energy we bring into a space. It is a call for revolution, but not one that requires us to revolt, one that's asking us to turn. Change is happening. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, whether or not you approve, one of two things will happen. You will either walk with it mindfully, or you will be dragged. If we want to propel the momentum towards love, if we want to tip the scales in favor of life itself, we have to understand we don't have to agree on all the details in order to be moving in the same direction. Do not confuse unity with uniformity. Our control in the way that this whole thing goes lies in your power of choice. Will you be a light or will you be a vacuum? I choose light.
You feel a burning in your chest. You know you're different than the rest. Sometimes it makes it feel like you could cry. When you're looking at the world through the heart that's on your sleeve, rather than your saline eyes. And sometimes it scares you to death. And sometimes it stops you in your tracks. Sometimes it makes it feel like you're pushing for nothing. But then everything gets quiet and the world moves in slow motion. And that little voice inside you whispers, do something. This is your call. You're called to be the one. The one who will inspire. Climb mountains, start a fire that shines brighter than the sun. And you will not waver, you will stand tall, you will be brave. You're gonna be the difference between loving and resistance. So hear me when I say, you are able, you're willing, you're strong. And this is your call. Yeah. This is your call. Yeah. You hear the thunder in your voice. You know you have no other choice but to open up your mouth and just let it fly. When you look down at your hands and you know the best laid plans are the ones that push you up from deep inside. And they'll try to make you believe that you cannot question what you see, that you should just lay low. But no one's ever sown a seed without breaking up the ground, and no one's ever made history by settling for status quo. This is your call. You're called to be the one. The one who will inspire. Climb mountains, start a fire that shines brighter than the sun. And you will not waver, you will stand tall, you will be brave. You're gonna be the difference between loving and resistance. So hear me when I say, you are able, you're willing, you're strong. And this is your call. Yes. This is your call. Yes. So be the love, and love will be the change you want to see. United we will stand, but divided we will fall. So I will sit with you till there's liberty and justice for all. This is your call. You're called to be the one. The one who will inspire. Climb mountains, start a fire that shines brighter than the sun. then you will not waver. You will stand tall. You will be brave. You're gonna be the difference between loving and resistance. So hear me when I say, you are able, you're willing, you're strong. You're able, you're willing, and you're strong. You are able, you're willing, you're strong. This is your call, yes. Listen to me, child, this is your call, yes. This is your call. 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 This is your call.